Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so remember when we have one action, okay, which was completed, and we are referring to recently done or recently completed action. In this particular case, which tense are we going to go for? Yes, everyone. Present perfect tense. Okay, here we are going to use present perfect tense. Like he has solved this exercise. Already we are mentioning what? This exercise. When we have a word like this, that is going to mean we are referring to something in the present time. Okay, if you get something like that, so we are generally talking about the past time. Now, if you have one completed action, okay, only one action we are referring to, and it was done in the past time. In that case, guys, don't go for past perfect tense, go for simple past tense. Okay, like he solved that exercise. Okay, here I'm not supposed to say he has solved that exercise because I'm not talking about the thing done in the recent time. I'm talking about thing which was done in the past time. So if you have one action which was completed in the past time, I'm going to go for simple past tense. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have to use past perfect also, but generally we don't use past perfect tense on its own. Okay, we use it with combination with simple past tense. So if you have two of the completed actions and if they were done one after another, okay, two actions we are referring to, they were done one after another. In that case, we are going to use combination of past perfect tense and simple past tense. Here what we do is we are going to use past perfect tense for the action which was done first, and we are going to use simple past tense for the action which was done next. For example, if you get a sentence in exam and you have like the patient, okay, dash before the doctor dash. Okay, we have to use something with die, and we have to use something with arrive. So what I'm going to go for?
Died and arrived.
Died.
Died and
Died.
arrived.
The patient had died before the doctor arrived.
Arrived. Okay, can I say the patient had died before the doctor had arrived? Can I say so?
No, sir.
No. Okay, so remember guys, what happens here is we have to determine which is the first action and which is the second action. These are the two actions which happened one after another. First, who died? The
The
patient,
patient.
right? So here we are going to say the patient had died. Then what happened? Second action. The doctor arrived. Okay, here we have used simple past tense. On this side, we have used past perfect tense. All right, so if you have two actions in the mind and they were done one after another, then go for past perfect, combination of past perfect and simple past. If you have one action which was done in the past time, then go for simple past tense. And if you have something which is done in the recent time, recently done, okay, then go for present perfect tense. I hope that is clear to you all. Okay, now let's continue. So we have like he had solved that exercise. Okay, we are referring to he had solved that exercise, first complete action before his brother called him. So can I say before his brother had called him? Would that be right? Can
No,
we use
sir.
two of the perfect past perfect tense here? So that's going to be incorrect. Okay, we have to use past perfect for the first action, first completed action, and simple past for the second completed action. Later we'll do more exercise related to the same. Okay, now let's begin with the past tense. First tense under past tense we are going to study about is going to be simple past tense. Very easy tense because we have been dealing with this many a time. Here we going to use subject and second form the verb and object. Now here doesn't matter whether the subject is singular or plural, we are going to use second form the verb when the sentence is in affirmative case. When you change the sentence into negative, then what are we going to use? In the affirmative, we are going to go for subject, second form the verb and object. If you change the sentence into negative, then what I'm going to go for? Do not, does not, did not. What should be there? Yes, everyone. Did not is going to be correct. Okay, with did not, which form the verb we are going to go for? If you have did not, which form the verb we are going to use? First or second?
Sure, first.
First verb is going to be correct. All right. Okay, so that's how we are going to make the sentence negative. If it is in positive case, we are going to go for second form the verb. And if it is in negative, we are going to go for did not and first form the verb. We don't use the second form the verb. Okay, this is the case of negative. Now let's understand when to use this particular tense. So we use it when we are referring to completed action, but one action we are referring to at a time. Okay, one action at a time. If there are different sentences, we can continuously use simple past tense. That is, there is no issue in there. But if you have two actions, okay, and they are combined together using some conjunction like before, while, or something like that, so chances are we are referring to two actions which were done one after another. Then we'll be using combination of past perfect and simple past. But if you are referring to only one action which was done in the past, somewhere in the past time, then I'm going to go for simple past tense. Now these are the adverbs, guys, which are going to help you to understand, okay, we have to use simple past here and not present perfect tense. So if you ever get the word like last year, okay, last month, last week, we get the word like that month, that week, that year, you get the word yesterday, okay, this morning also, and ago we get, earlier we get. In all these cases, we are supposed to use which tense? Okay, because using these adverbs of time, possibly we may refer to one action which was done in the past time. Like we have Jack completed MCA last year. So this is the word which is letting us know that we are not going to go for present perfect tense. We are going to go for simple past tense. Okay, Jack completed MCA last year. They reached Goa yesterday. Yesterday is already given, so I'm referring to an action which was completed in the past. They met each other in Dubai. We don't know when exactly, but we are referring to one action which was done in the past time. I called you many times. When time is not given, but it is implied the action was completed in the past, so we are going to go for simple past tense. Now, if you change this that week into this week, so which tense are we going to use? If you don't have that week, but you have this week.
Present perfect.
Present perfect. Okay, so remember we do use completed actions. Okay, we are going to use present perfect tense if their actions are done in the recent time. But if you actions are done in the past, guys, don't go for past perfect. Go for simple past there. All right. Okay, second thing we use simple past tense, that is going to denote the habits of a person in the past. Okay, if you are referring to the facts related to past time. Okay, facts again we are referring to, but in the past. And here we can use either simple past tense or we can use like Sagar wore t-shirts earlier. Okay, he doesn't wear them now. Okay, so we can say Sagar wore t-shirts earlier, or how else we can make the same sentence? Sagar used to wear t-shirts. Okay, so either way it is going to be correct. Okay, we can say I played badminton in my college days, or I can say I used to play badminton in my college. So that is up to you whether you use used to and then the main form the verb, okay, first form the verb, or you simply use simple past tense to describe the past habits of a person or the facts of the past time. Any doubts so far? No?
No, sir.
Okay, so then there is a question which we have to answer. So we have I dashed to her house on foot, by foot. What I'm going to say?
On foot.
It was the complete sentence if I have to complete this. What's the complete sentence?
I went to her.
Okay, I went to
a house on foot.
on foot. Okay, why we are not using by foot here, but we're using on foot?
So we use by other vehicles like bus, car, etc.
Okay, so we say by car, by bicycle, by motorbike, by train, by air, by sea, and so on. Okay, but in this case, we are going to go for on. Okay, because this is not an equipment or this is not something we are taking to go from one place to another. Okay, now we are going to start with past continuous. In past continuous tense, guys, we are going to have subject, was or were will be used, ing form the verb, and object. Okay, first thing, the uses. So present perfect tense we were using when we have something which is ongoing in the present time. If you're denoting something which was ongoing in the past time, then which tense are we going to use? Past continuous. Okay, so this is going to be past progressive, we can say, or past continuous. It is used to denote action that was progressive at certain point of time which is being talked about but in the past. Like Nana was watching a movie at 6 p.m. yesterday. I was trying to call you in the morning. Okay, so we are referring to the things which were ongoing in the past time. Now we have to understand one more thing here, that is going to be if you have two actions. Okay, here we are referring to two of the actions and they were done going on. Okay, one was going on, or there was a longer action and something happened in between. Okay, so I'm referring to if there are two of the actions and one was ongoing and the second took place in between. In that case, we use a combination of tense. So that is going to be if you have two actions, one was ongoing and the second took place in between. So we are going to use past continuous for the ongoing action, and we are going to use simple past tense for the action which took place in between. For example, we can see the sentence here. So the teacher suddenly entered the class while the students were mimicking him. So we can see that what happened all of a sudden. The teacher entered the class. Okay, in between what was happening? The students there, they were trying to mimic him, or they were mimicking him. Okay, everyone?
Yes.
Getting the thing? Okay, so here we have two of the actions. One was ongoing and second is the action which was static or which took place in between. In such a sentence, in such a case, we are going to use simple past for the action which took place between the longer action or continued action. For the continued action, we are going to use past continuous. Like she was preparing lunch when the doorbell rang. Okay, so we have past continuous here for the action which was ongoing, and we have simple past tense for the action which took place in between. Now suppose you have the two actions, but both were being done at the same time. Okay, simultaneously they were happening. In that case, guys, we can use the combination of past continuous and past continuous. Okay, so we can use past continuous to represent both the continuous actions. Like while I was bathing, my sister was washing clothes. While I was singing, my brother was dancing. While he was doing homework, his brother was listening to songs. That means these were the two actions, both were happening at the same time continuously in the past. Any doubt in here? Anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so if you have some exercise based on it, can we use the tense properly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so suppose we have a sentence while we saw the airplane dash while it dash fly. What are we going to go for? What should be the right answer?
While it was flying.
It was flying.
Was flying. Okay, so we are using it was flying here because we are referring to which action? Continuous action. Okay, so it is going to be it was flying here. Okay, next question we have, I dashed my beard when the telephone bell rang.
Was trimming.
Was trimming.
Was trimming. Okay, if you have a sentence like this, the old lady dashed the Gita when the guests arrived. We have to use read here.
Was reading.
Was reading is going to be correct. Okay, so you can see here in all these sentences, one thing is common, that we are referring to one action which was ongoing, and all of a sudden what happened? Another action took place. So we are not using past continuous and past continuous. We are using past continuous for the ongoing action, simple past for the action which took place in between. Like here, this person was trimming his beard and something happened in between, and that the action which took place in between was the telephone bell rang. Okay, so we are going to use this tense there. Okay, now if you have this sentence, guys, she found that the baby dashed bitterly. What I'm going to use for? Going to go
Was
for?
crying. Was crying.
Was crying is going to be there. Okay, the baby was crying. That is going to be correct. Okay, here we have already used found here, so that's why we were not using simple past. But in exam, you may get a sentence wherein you have to use two verbs there. They can use she dash find that, and then they are going to give you a verb here, cry. So we remember, if you want to say that one action took place in between and something was ongoing, so use ongoing. For ongoing action, use past continuous, and for the action which took place in between, we are going to go for simple past. Any doubt, beta? No,
sir.
Okay, now let's see how many of you remember. We have a sentence. He works as if he was lame. Is the sentence correct?
No, sir. It will be he
No, sir.
were alone.
What is going to be here? What is the thing we have to change?
So we have to put where instead of was.
Very
Were.
good. Okay, here we are going for were. Why we are using were, not was? Hmm. Why we are using were here, not was? Because what we have in the
So
sentence?
because it is second condition and with if used.
Very. Okay, it's going to be a conditional here. That's the reason. So conditionals, if you talk about, guys, that is also going to be part of tense. Okay, you can get a sentence that is based on conditional. So don't think you will be getting separate exercise based on conditional. That is going to be part of this thing only. Okay, if I give, let me give you one more sentence based on it. Just a moment. Okay, if you have a sentence, this is a sentence. If he was or were a woman, he would have lots of babies. What is going to be correct?
Were.
Or again, and if you have this sentence, if he was or were Bill Gates, he would be the richest person in the world.
Was.
Was here or were?
Were.
Were is
Was.
going to be there. Okay, why we are using were here, not was? Because what we have, guys? Second conditional we have. Okay, we can say second conditional, or in other word, we have hypothetical conditional. Okay, we are being hypothetical here. Okay, we are just imagining this thing. For example, we have we could start dinner if only he was oblique were here. What I'm going to go for?
Were.
Were again.
Were.
Okay, so same thing here because we are referring to an imaginary situation. We are being hypothetical, guys. Second conditional we have. So whenever we have a sentence with if, okay, in that case, chances are we are referring to conditional. Or if is there, so that means conditional is there. Don't go for was in this case. Go for were. Okay, now let's go to past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. So past perfect tense, we are going to use subject, had, and third form the verb and object. Okay, it is used to denote actions which were completed in the past. However, one has to be very careful about when you are using it. Now, if you have two of the actions, okay, and they were done one after another, guys, or you can see the words like before and after. In exam, your exam, if I refer to, okay, so you are going to get a sentence. In there, they are going to use the word like before or after. That means we are referring to two actions. One was done before and second was done afterward. So in these cases, guys, there we are always going to use, we are going to give two of the actions there, or we are going to have two of the actions. One was done first and second was done later on. So the action which took place first, okay, or the action which took place first, or that happened first, we are going to use past perfect tense for that. And the action which took place later on, we are going to use simple past tense. Like here, we can see the tiger had run away before the hunter reached the forest. Okay, so we have the tiger had run away. That is going to mean this was the first thing which happened, and afterward the hunter reached the forest. So that's the reason we are saying the tiger had run away, and we are saying before the hunter reached the forest. So we are using past perfect for the first action, simple past for the second action. We can also interchange the sentence. It's not that we have to use before word at the end only. We can start the sentence with before, but remember, since it's we are using it at the beginning, this is going to be a subordinating clause. So we are going to use a comma to separate it from the main clause. Okay, if you put the subordinate clause at the end, then there is no comma required. But if you are starting the sentence with the subordinate clause, then do use a comma before the main clause. Like here, before the hunter reached the forest, comma, the tiger had run away. We can say all had settled down before the director arrived, or we can say before the director arrived, comma, all had settled down. We went out after it had stopped raining, or we can say after it had stopped raining, comma, we went out. Garima returned home after their plane had taken off, or we can say after their plane had taken off, or after Garima's plane had taken off, comma, she returned home. Okay, so either way, we can frame the sentence. Any doubt here, anyone? Yes, any doubt, beta? No? Okay. Okay, next thing, if you have some desires, okay, past desires we are referring to which were not fulfilled. Okay, anything which remained as a desire only. In that case, also we can use past perfect tense. So generally here we use combination of simple present and past perfect. So if you have a sentence like I wish she wishes, generally these are the words we use, like I wish she wishes. In that case, guys, we are going to use past perfect tense if we are representing anything which was not fulfilled. Like I wish I had taken the 3 o'clock train. Madhuri wishes she had studied a little more seriously. So in these cases, we are referring to the wishes which were not fulfilled in the past. Okay, so we are using combination of present, simple present and past perfect tense. Any doubt? No doubt. Okay, then let's go to the third rule that is going to be related to impossible conditional. So impossible conditional we have done already. Okay, in impossible conditional we are going to use if, then past perfect tense. On the other side we use would have. So is it true that we use would have only, or we have more than these words? Only would have is there, or more words are also there? Yes, yes. Only would have is there.
Also there.
Okay, more words are also there. Okay, for example, we can use should have. We can go for could have, might have. Okay, but these words with have, we can go for must have. So any of these words can be there. So we can say if he had spoken politely, he would not have borne the consequences. Or had he spoken politely, he would not have borne the consequences. Either way we can make the sentence, guys. We can also say he would not have borne the consequences. Same sentence we can say uh, he would not have borne the consequences. Okay, we can say if he had spoken politely. There is no change in the meaning, guys. Okay, it's just would not have. We are putting the result first, and after that we are putting the conditional. Conditional is if he had spoken politely. Okay, so either way we can make the sentence. Now, if you pay attention here, we had if he had spoken politely. Here we are saying had he spoken politely. So remember, guys, in past impossible conditional or in the other type of condition also, it's not that we have to use if only. Okay, we can use directly the helping verb at the beginning. Like we can say had he spoken politely. That is also going to be correct. Like had they started earlier, they could have caught the train. Or if they had started earlier, they could have caught the train. We can also say they could have caught the train if they had started earlier. So if you have could have, should have, would have, these type of words are there, must have, you have. Okay, in that case, we are going to go for combination of past perfect tense. Okay, where we have if clause, and on the other side, we are going to use these words like would have, should have, could have, might have, or must have. But can we use can have? Do we have can have? Anyone? Do we have can have? No. Okay, there is nothing as such. Okay, one exercise, some sentences we have. So we have to put she dashed not the place before her husband permitted her. What's going to be here? Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, sir. Good.
So what's going to be here? She dashed not the place before her husband permitted her. What is going to be right?
Did not leave the place.
Did not leave. Or had not left. Okay, try to identify the thing, guys. What are we using in between?
Before.
That means if you have before and after, how many actions we are going to discuss about? Actions. Okay, one is done first, second was done later on. So we are saying her husband permitted her. That is going to mean this was the which action? First action or second action? Second action, right? So we have to use a tense for the first action. What I'm going to use? She did not leave the place or she had not left the place. What is going to be correct?
Had not.
Had not left the place is going to be correct. Okay, guys, so this is how we are going to identify the thing in the tense related exercise. Like dash the child before his mother returned from office. What I'm going to say?
Had the child slept.
Very good. Okay, had the child slept is going to be correct. Okay, why were not simple past? Can I say did the child sleep? Not really. Okay, we have to use a
Because
combination.
here,
Okay, what are we using in between? Before, guys. So this is a keyword, guys, which is going to let us know that okay, we are referring to two actions. One was done first and second took place in between. Means afterward. So if you have a word like before and after, chances are we are going to use combination of past perfect tense and simple past tense, guys. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Okay. Now let me ask you one more sentence. We have the sentence. The cinema show dash when I reach the hall. I'm using when I reach the hall, and this time we don't have before here, rather we have when. Let's see what I'm going to use.
had started.
Very good. Okay, why we are using had started and not was starting?
Because it is reached in the second.
We are saying that something had started. That means something was completed already. Okay, or something had started in the past when something else took place. Okay, so we have two of the actions here. One happened first and second happened afterward. So we can also use before here. The cinema show had started before I reached the hall. So that is also going to be fine. So sometimes they can use when also, but again guys, we are going to use a combination of past perfect and simple past. Okay, if she dashed a bus, she would have caught the train. We have would have caught. Which conditional we have? Which conditional is this?
Sir,
This case,
impossible.
first, second, third, zero, impossible,
Impossible.
impossible condition.
Impossible.
Okay, we can say this is third condition, right? Which tense are we going to use on the first side? If she dash a bus. Simple past or past perfect tense?
Past perfect.
Past perfect. So what should be the right sentence? If she dash a bus, she would have caught the train. We can say if she had boarded the bus or a bus, she would have caught the train. Okay, that means she did not board the bus, something else was boarded. Okay, and that's why she missed out on the train. Now suppose you have a sentence, the bell dashed before I reached the school. We are using before in here. So which tense we are going to use if reached is already used?
Past perfect.
Past perfect. So what is going to be right answer? The bell dashed before I reached the school?
Had one.
Had
Run is going to be correct. Okay, so in exam guys, also these words will be given to you. If you get a sentence, they are going to say the bell dashed before I reached the school. Okay, they can use simple past here. On that case, on the first side, we are going to use had rung. If they say the bell had rung before I dashed the school, then if they ask you to use a tense, which tense are we going to use here? Like we have used reached. So which tense were we supposed to use? Simple past will be there. Okay. If you have this sentence, guys, if she dashed for the examination, she would not have failed. What are we going to use?
had prepared.
Prepared.
Why are we using had prepared, not prepared? Yes, everyone. Why
Okay,
is it
third
had prepared,
condition.
not prepared? Very good.
Third.
Okay, third condition we are referring to. Okay, so conditionals also are part of tense, guys. Although we studied them separately, but they are part of this thing only. Okay, so we have the sentence starting with if. When you have the sentence with if, so there are four conditions we have discussed, and any of the conditions can come in the exam. Like if she dashed for the examination, she would not have failed. We are already using would not have. That is going to mean we are referring to third condition. This is the word which is going to let us know, okay, we are using third condition. We have to use past perfect here, and then we can use would have, should have, could have, and so on. Any doubt to anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, now we have the next tense that's going to be past perfect continuous, guys. So in past perfect continuous, like present perfect continuous is used to denote an action which was ongoing or we started in the past, and but it is still going on. Okay, at the time of speaking. In that case, we use present perfect continuous tense. Now, past perfect continuous is used to denote an action which was okay. We started in the past and it was completed in the past, but it was going on with certain time in the past. Okay, then we are going to use past perfect continuous. We use subject, had been, first form of the verb with ing, object. Now since for and time phrase is not important, if you have the sentence with that, fine. If you don't have, then also it is not required. So it is used to denote an action that began before a certain point in the past and continued up to that time in the past. Okay, like suppose somebody met in Pune last year. Okay, so when we met in Pune last year, so that is going to mean which time we are referring to, present time or past time?
So past.
Past time we are referring to. Okay, she told me something that she had been working in Wipro since 1995. So remember, this tense is generally not used on its own. Okay, it will be used in combination, because first they are going to tell you, okay, things are done in the past. Then only you'll be knowing, okay, we are referring to past time, and we are referring to something in continuously being done in the past. Then we are going to go for past perfect continuous. We can also say she told me that she had been working in Wipro since 1995. That is also going to be fine. Okay, even if you don't have this part, that is going to be fine. Because when I say she told me, that is going to mean we are referring to a time of the past. So here I'm going to say she had been working in Wipro since 1995. Since 1995 till the day the sentence was made. When Mr. Mukherjee came to school in 1995, Mr. Anand had already been teaching there for 5 years. Okay, same concept as of present perfect continuous, but here we are going to refer to past time. Okay, everyone. So there is nothing more to discuss in past perfect continuous tense, because it is similar to the present continuous. Any doubt before we go to future tense? Yes, Vita.
So in this second sentence, no, when Mr. Mukherjee said this one. So in this, like this sentence started from 1995, and where it was ending, sir.
Okay, we are not saying when it ended. When Mr. Mukherjee came to school in 1995. Okay, when somebody came in 1995, then we are saying Mr. Anand was there. Okay, so suppose we are let's say they came in 2020. Okay, 2020, Mr. Mukherjee came where? In the school. There was another person, his name was Mr. Anand, and he had already been teaching there for how many years? 5 years.
5 years.
So just minus 5, that means he started in 1990.
Okay.
Or 2020, so we are referring to 2015.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, then we have future tense, guys. What do you know about future tense? Anyone? When do we use future tense? Or what do we deal with future tense?
So future actions.
Future actions, great. Okay, so the concept is right, that future tense is going to talk about the future time. Okay, when I talk about the future tense, there is a thing. If you have studied about modals already in school, so remember which type of helping verbs we use with the future tense. Regular helping verbs or modal helping verb? Any idea which type of helping verbs we use with future tense?
No, sir.
No idea. Okay, so we'll keep. Okay, we'll discuss that once we start with modals. Okay, next topic which we are going to start after tense, that's going to be modals. So there we'll discuss it. For now, just remember future tense is for anything which is going to be done in the future time. Okay, so we have done part of future tense already when we were dealing with the present tense. Okay, which tense we can use in place of simple future?
Simple present.
Very good. And Adish is going to tell. Adish, when exactly we use simple present tense in place of simple future?
So when an event is bound to happen.
Very good. Okay, it is already planned, we can say scheduled. That is correct. Okay. And which tense we use instead of future continuous tense?
Present continuous.
Very good. Present continuous. Great. Okay, so again, we are going to repeat one or two things and then we'll start. So in future tense, guys, we are going to have simple future tense. First tense is that here we use subject, shall or will, first from the verb and object. Okay, now I'm not going to tell you when to use shall, when to use will. Here I'm going to take the normal rules. In modals, I'll explain you when to use shall, when to use will. Okay, in which case you have to use shall, in which case we are going to use will. For now, just remember, generally shall is for INV and will is for rest of the subjects. Okay, that's what you have to remember as of now. But as we speak, okay, as the language grew, so we have stopped using shall and we have started using will only. That is fine when you are speaking, but when you are writing, try to use shall with INV, and other subjects you can take will. In some cases, we can always use will, and that's we are going to understand in the modals. I hope that would be okay. Yes, everyone. If we discuss about when to use will and shall in the modal class, would that be okay?
Yes.
Okay, so first thing, simple future tense is used to denote actions which are happening in the future. Okay, which are going to happen in the future. Okay, we are not referring the present time, but the future. Like I will tell you a story tomorrow, or they will meet in Paris. You will learn if you practice. So in these cases, we are referring to things which are supposed to be done in the future time. Okay, we can say they are normal facts which are going to take place in future. Like I can say the sun tomorrow, the sun will rise at 6 a.m. Suppose it is that's how it is going to rise. So I can say this thing will happen in the future. So I can say shall and will, and first of the verb will be used there. Now conditional. Let me ask, if it rains, we will stay indoors. Which conditional we are talking about here? Which conditional we have? Yes. Very good. Okay, first conditional is there. So guys, again we use first conditional, but before that, I have a question. Can we use two of the future tenses in one sentence altogether?
No, sir.
No. For example, if I say if it will rain, we will stay indoors. Will that be right?
No, sir.
Okay, if you are done with the conditional, so remember that's not going to be incorrect. Okay, so here in an if clause referring to a likely or possible situation in the future, okay, something which is going to take place in the future. So we use the combination of simple present tense and the combination of future tense. In place of future tense, we can also use other modal verbs, because in future tense, we don't use regular helping verbs, we use modal helping verbs. And what are they? We'll discuss once we start with the modals. So here we are going to use if plus simple present tense. Condition will be there. Then simple future we can say, or shall, will, may, can, must. These type of modal verbs can be used. If this is something which is going to happen in the future and 50% chance are there. For example, we can say generally the main clause has the form shall, will, may, can, must. Then we use first form of the verb with that. Like if she works hard, she will pass. But can I say if she will work hard, she will pass? Will that be right? So that's going to be wrong. We cannot use two of the future tense together, guys. We have to use simple present for the condition if, and we have to use will, shall, may, must, these type of words on the second part. If I go to America, I shall stay with my aunt. If you request me, I shall help you. If you need a pen, you can take mine. Or if you want to get good marks, you must work harder. But can I say if you will want to get good marks, you must work harder? Will that be right? That is going to be incorrect. Okay, so whenever we have a sentence with if, guys, remember this is part of conditional. Okay, and conditionals can be discussed this way. So what is right? If she will work hard, she will pass. Is that right or wrong? Yes, guys, if she will work hard, she will pass. If you get a sentence this way, is that correct?
Sir, it is wrong.
It is wrong. Ashad, what is wrong in the sentence?
Sir, we are using sir two future tense at once.
Oh, very good. Okay, and what should be the right sentence then?
Sir, if she will work hard, she may pass.
I see. Okay. Yash, is he right? If she will work hard, she may pass. Yes, Johan.
If she works hard, she will pass.
Very good. Okay, so you can use may here, you can use can, that is fine. In the case of result, you can use any of these words, guys. Okay, but on the first side, on the side of if, can we use future tense?
Yes, sir.
No, Ashad, we cannot. Okay, so remember on the first side, wherever if is given, okay, which tense are we going to use?
Simple.
On the other side, we can use shall, will, may, can, must. These helping verbs or these modal verbs can be used there. But on the first side, we cannot use future tense. We cannot use two of the future tense together. Okay, so it is going to be if she works hard, she will pass. If you say if she will work hard, she will pass, it's going to be incorrect, because here we are using if plus simple future and simple future. The case is on the first side, on any side, if you have will, shall. On the other side, on the side of if, we are going to use simple present tense. Like here, if she works hard, she will pass. Okay, that is going to be correct. Doubt here? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. Then we have the next tense that's going to be future continuous, guys. So future continuous, we rarely use. The reason is because we have already, we can already use a different tense in place of future continuous. Which tense we can use in place of future continuous?
Present continuous.
Very good. Okay, present continuous can be there. Now guys, it is used to express ongoing actions of future. Okay, anything which will be ongoing in the future time, we can use future continuous. So if you want to make a sentence using future continuous only, then we can use shall be or will be with ing form the verb and object. But if you don't want to introduce future continuous for the actions which are going on in the future, you can simply make a sentence using is going to, am going to, or are going to in place of future continuous. Like the famous tennis star will be inaugurating the sports day events, or we can say the famous tennis star is going to inaugurate the sports day events. We can also say the doctor will be coming in an hour, or the doctor is going to come in an hour. The duo will be singing at the party, or the duo are going to sing at the party. The plane will be landing at 4 p.m. at the London airport, or we can say their plane is going to land at 4 p.m. at the London airport. Okay, so there we use future continuous. In place of future continuous, we can always use present continuous tense. Okay, now how would you say that when to use simple future tense and when to use future continuous, guys? So future simple or simple future is used. Okay, there are several forms. It is used to talk about something that will happen in time after now. Okay, anything which will happen in future. As a matter of fact, we are referring to. Like I can say, I will write a thank you letter tomorrow. So this is going to happen in the future I'm referring to. Okay, as a matter of fact, I have decided this is going to happen in the future. Okay, it's not something I'm talking about that it will be going on in the future. Future continuous will be used to refer to a future action that will be continuing. Okay, if you have something which will be continuing, in that particular case, we are going to go for future continuous. Like, please don't call me between 2 and 4 on Saturday. Okay, between this time, don't call me. Because what the person is going to do, he'll be watching television. Okay, everyone. Doubts so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we have future perfect tense. Now perfect is going to mean we are referring to completed actions. Okay, so like if we had one completed action done in the past, so which tense were we using? Simple past or past perfect? If you have one completed action in the past. Only one action which was done in the past, completed in the past. Which tense were we using earlier? Simple past or past perfect? We have recently done that tense, guys. Which tense were we using? If you have one of the action which was done in the past.
So simple past.
Simple past. Great. Okay, if we have something recently done, recently completed, then
Perfect. Past perfect.
Present perfect was there. Okay, recently done activity, right? So present perfect. And if you have two of the actions which were done one after another, then which tenses were we using?
Present, past perfect, and past tense.
Very good. Okay, combination of past perfect and simple past. Now, guys, if you want to say that something will have completed in the future, okay, something will have completed in the future. In that case, we are going to use future perfect tense. Here we use subject, shall have or will have, third form the verb, and object will be used. So it expresses an action that will be completed by a certain time in future. Like I can say in a minute or two, we will have discussed about future perfect tense. So I'm saying in the future, that's not now, but in the future, in a minute or two, we will have discussed about this thing. We can say Ruhi will have completed MA by 2022. India will have become a superpower by 2025. That means this thing will have completed in the future. You all will have got a good job by the end of this year. I will have started a new project by next week. Before my brother arrives, I shall have completed my homework. So when we have these type of these type of sentences, these type of phrases we have, like before my brother arrives, or we have by next week, by the end of this year, okay, by 2025, because we are referring to something in the future. Okay, so we are going to say that something will have completed here. We are not saying that something will be ongoing till this time. We are referring to something will have completed by this time. Okay, so when we have by word, in those cases, guys, generally we use future perfect tense. Okay, like by 2022, this thing will have completed. By 2025, the first thing will have completed. By the end of this year, the first thing will have completed. By next week, first thing will have completed. And something here, before my brother arrives, so something will have completed. Okay, so completed actions in the future, we are going to use future perfect tense. So there is nothing much in future perfect and future perfect continuous, but let's also understand future perfect continuous, when to use future perfect and when to use future perfect continuous. So perfect continuous we have, so that means we are going to refer to something which will be ongoing in the future from certain time, okay, and the action will complete in the future only. Like here we use subject, shall have been, will have been, ing from the verb, object, and after that we can use since or for, okay, and time phrase can be there. Now it's not important at all, okay, we can use time phrase, or if you don't have time phrase, then also you can make a sentence. That means with certain time the thing will be going on in the future. For example, there is a girl, her name is Lydia, okay, and her birthday is falling on Sunday. When she has the birthday on Sunday, right? So it's not today, but it's falling on upcoming days. So here we can make a sentence, guys, on Lydia's birthday. That's not today, but on Sunday. We will have been decorating the hall since morning. That means this action will be continuously going on with certain time on Sunday. Okay, since morning till certain time, the action will be completed then and there. Okay, but it will be going on with certain time. Okay, on Sunday. When Sharad returns to home country, his parents will have been waiting for him for 10 years. Okay, this thing will, when this thing happened, first thing happens, this thing will be continuously going on for 10 years. Tomorrow, the contestants will have been doing rehearsals for several hours when you go on a round. He will have been recording all the criminal speaks right from his entry. Okay, when? In the future. Okay, so that's where we use future perfect continuous tense, and earlier we had discussed about future perfect tense. So that's all about the past tense and future tense. Now, if you have a doubt, please tell me. Otherwise, we can begin with some exercise. Any doubt to anyone? Yes, guys. Any doubt?
Okay.
No.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, are we ready for an exercise?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, since we have less time, so we are going to start with the answers directly. Okay. These are some of the sentences. The police dashed for thieves last night.
Caught.
What is going to be here? Caught is going to be there. Why we are using caught?
So the action had completed in the past.
Very good. Okay, past action we are referring to one action which was completed in the past. Okay, now if you have the police dash for thieves last night before something else happened, then can I still use caught, or had caught will be there?
So had
Had got.
Very good. Okay, I was dash food when he came in.
Was cooking.
Okay. Cooking or was cooking? Oh, sorry, cooked or was cooking?
Was cooking.
Was is already given, I think. Okay, was cooking is correct. It dashed since 9 o'clock.
was raining.
Okay, was
has
raining,
been raining.
has been raining, or had been raining?
Has been raining.
Okay, why we are not using had been raining here? What's the reason?
Because it's continuous.
Because it is not completed yet.
Okay, I'm saying it dashed since 9 o'clock. I'm giving you some of the options. Okay, we have the options of was, is, has been, and had been. Which one is correct?
Has been.
Has been.
Has been is correct. That is correct. But why we didn't go for had been? That's the question.
Because when sentence would have changed to past perfect.
I see. But can I use had been here? If I say it had been raining since morning, do you think it will be right? Not. Okay, see guys, when you have a sentence on its own, okay, we are getting a sentence on its own, and if you don't have the adverb of time of the past, like here we don't have the adverb of time of the past, so can I use past perfect continuous tense?
Yes, sir.
We cannot. Okay, if you don't have the adverb of time of the past, don't go for past tense, go for the present tense, because we'll take it as the case of present time. Okay, but if you have the adverb of time like you have yesterday here, suppose you get a word like yesterday, it dashed since 9 o'clock, then can I say has been raining? Can I say yesterday it has been raining since 9 o'clock? Will that be right? No. Okay, then it is going to be wrong. Then I have to say yesterday it had been raining since 9 o'clock. Now I don't have yesterday there. I don't have the adverb time of the past. Therefore, I'm going to take it into present time. All right. So if ever you get you are confused whether to go for the past tense or go for the present tense. So remember, if you have in the paragraph you're talking about past tense, so make it into past. If you're talking about the present time, then go for the present tense. Same goes when you're writing down the sentence. Okay, let's see how many of you are paying attention. I dash my colleague if I had been there.
So helped.
Okay. Let me highlight something.
I would have helped.
Very good.
Yes, I
Okay,
would.
we have had been here. That means which tense are we using? We are using past perfect. On the first side, result side, what I'm going to use? Would have, helped will be there. Next thing, guys. Stars dash in the sky at night.
Stars twinkle.
Twinkle or twinkles?
Twinkle.
Okay, stars are there actually. Okay, all the students dash the classwork when the teacher came in.
Were doing.
Very good. Were doing, that means one thing was going on and something happened in between. Okay, can I say all the students had done their work when the teacher came in? Can I use that? Okay, if you did not, if you had the verb like complete here, then yes, you could. But do is going to mean they were doing something and something happened in between. If you have complete, then what can I say? All the students had completed the classwork when the teacher came in. Okay, so if you get complete verb, then use past perfect. When you use do verb, that means something was ongoing. So I'm going to use past continuous and simple past. Mahesh dash tomorrow from Patna.
So will
come.
Will come.
Is going to come, can I say?
Yes, sir.
Is coming.
Yes.
Will that be right?
Yes.
So either way, it is going to be fine. Okay, the patient dash before the doctor came. We have done the sentence. Very good.
Had died.
Okay, why we are using had died, not the other thing?
So third condition.
Not third condition here, beta. What we are using?
So first
So because two actions are taking place.
The
Very
first
good.
action
Two actions we have. First was done, and the second happened in bit afterward. Okay, I saw that the policeman dashed the thieves.
Was chasing.
Okay.
Was chasing.
Was chasing. Okay, that means you're not reading the whole.
Were chasing.
The policemen were chasing.
Policemen we have, not man. He's a very rude person. I dash him.
I will not help.
I will not help him. Very good. Okay, why did we not use would not? I would not help him. If I use would not, would that be right?
No, sir.
Okay, if you use was here, then can we use would not?
Yes, sir.
Can we do one more exercise? If you are willing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have to give the answer quickly so that we can complete it before the time is over. So what's the right answer here?
Attract.
Attract, attracts, or is attracting? Attracts will be there. Why? It is a fact, guys. Okay, whenever you leave sugar, what will you find? Flies hovering over it, right? So that's a fact we are referring to. Since it's a fact, so I'm going to use simple present. Suspense novels dash a special attention for me.
Hold.
Holds. Hold.
Okay, hold or holds. Hold is good. Okay, because we have novels here. That's the reason. The mourners dash in black. A tired, have a tired, or were tired.
Were
Tired.
Okay, why we are using were tired here, guys? Why not tired?
So the action is completed.
I see. But were tired, were is going to take ing from the verb. Why we are using a tired then? That's the question. Hmm. Okay, can we attire on your own? Yes, can we do something like that on our own? Not really, right? So the sentence here is in passive voice. Which voice we are using?
Passive.
Passive voice. Okay, you can get a sentence in passive voice also. When we do active and passive voice, then I'll explain it further. So the mon is dash in black. So we are using were attire. The reason is because the sentence is in passive voice. This is a sentence, the mourners we are talking about. Okay, they were asked to attire in this by somebody. Okay, so when you transform the same sentence, it's going to be the mourners were asked to attire. Okay, were attired, we can say, in black. Okay, the defendant dashed by his attorney.
So was represented.
What's going to be correct here? Was represented is going to be. Can I say has represented? Will that be right?
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
this
sir.
is again going to be case of which voice? Passive voice. Okay, I'll take a minute more, then we are done actually. The accent dashed the two faulty breaks.
Was attributed.
Attributed or was attributed?
Was
Attributed
The
is
was.
correct. Okay, this sentence is in also which voice? Passive voice.
Passive voice.
Skydiving dashed both audacity and skill.
So takes.
takes.
Okay, so we are going to go for takes. Next sentence we have the audience dash happy with the play.
Is.
The audience is happy or are happy? Or
Sir,
either
is
could be
happy.
used.
Either could be used.
Very good. Okay, how we can say either? If you say whole audience, is this going to mean the entire audience? Okay. And when you say are, that is going to be the members in the audience or the members of the audience, you can say. All right, so we can say yes, we can say take them as members, we can take them as the whole audience. So we can go for any verb. The settlers dashed the burning of the fort by destroying a tribal village.
Revenge.
Avenged, revenge, avenged. Okay, so revenge is taken, okay, actively. Avenged is going to be there. Cats have an aversion dash wet. To get or to getting wet?
To get.
Okay, so there are certain verbs, guys. Okay, I'll send a file which is going to have certain verbs which don't take the first form of the verb. Okay, they are going to take ing from the verb. So once we start with non-finites, then I'll explain it further. Okay, so there are certain verbs which take ing from the verb. Like to is going to take getting here because aversion is there. Whenever you find this verb aversion, okay, so remember to use ing from the verb after to and not first from the verb. In non-finites, I'll explain that. People who dash to with for success may miss choice.
Are.
Okay, people who are is going to be correct. Okay, next sentence: the grandparents dash custody of the children.
So awarded.
Awarded or were awarded?
Were awarded. Were awarded.
Okay, why we are using were awarded? Which voice we are using?
Passive voice.
Okay, because we are saying the grandparents were awarded custody of the children by whom? By the court, by the judge or something. And this by the court is never given to you guys. We have to assume, okay, this must be the sentence. Last sentence, we have the salesman kept babbling until they dashed the door.
So shut.
Shut does not have shuttered or shutting. A shutting we can say, but shuttered there is nothing as such. Okay, first form shut, second shut, and third is also shut. Okay, so I'll send one assignment which is going to base on this tenses. Okay, now if you have a doubt, you can step back and ask a doubt. And before we leave, I would like to ask